Instagram. Hey, Instagram. Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to my live. Hello, 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 hello. 6 o'clock. Getting ready to start this show. I'm glad everybody jumped on. Hi, Malcolm. How are you? Good to see you. Long time no see. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for coming in and tuning into my first live. This one is a little serious. I wanted to pretty much come in and start connecting with the community. Hi cousins, hi friends, hi Facebook and Instagram friends and cousins and aunts and uncles. Thanks for coming in. But like I said, I wanted to start doing this connection and community connection chats with the community, just to get out there and talk to people all over the place, in every spectrum of life. I want to connect resources with the community as well, let people know what everyone's doing in our community. And when I say our community, I'm born and raised in Newark, still living in New Jersey, but when I say our community, I'm saying our community, our people, minorities, people of color. I just want to be able to bring individuals in to help us with resources, let them know what's going on in our community. And with that being said, this came into thought because I've been working in the mental health background for some time. And, there's common issues in the Black community and the Black families with mental health, especially in today's political climate. But there's a stigma and tendency, however, for Black people to not seek professional help. And many families of color don't believe into going to therapists, talking to people, telling them your business. Black people go, no, we're not doing that. Whatever happens in the family stays in the family, and keep family and business amongst us. So that's a stigma that, a lot of Black families go through. Everybody, just put your hand up if you can hear me. Am I clear? Can everybody hear me? Just say yes or put your hands up. I don't want any connection issues, anything, and we will be recording this and talking to the guests shortly. Okay, so if you guys could just let me know that you can hear me, then I'll keep going. All right, thank you. All right, so and I'm sure many of you have heard that in your family. Don't come out of this house telling our business. Don't step out of this house. Keep it here. We're going to have a moment, and many families don't sit on the couch like the Huxtables and discuss many of the issues. They just don't do it. They don't do it. It's just that, wipe it off. That didn't happen. You'll be all right. Go get some Kool-Aid. You'll be okay. Something silly, but I wanted to come in today to bring two individuals on just to tell their stories, because drugs in our community, mental health in our community, we need to speak on it. We need to address it. Every one of my community and connection chats are not going to be serious, but there's going to be a story from someone, whether it's their business, whether it's their connection, whatever. It's going to be a story. So today is story of recovery, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Y'all might hear me start knocking down my water. I'm a klutz, so just bear with me. But today, these stories that we're hearing can be and are diverse in our society itself. Addiction doesn't discriminate. It doesn't discriminate from our community to another community. And neither does recovery either. There are recovery stories from all over the world, from individuals. They're from men, women, young, old, Black, white, rich, poor. These stories are not heard enough in our community, and we only focus on the world around us that are hooked on the drugs or the crazy, sick, lengthy time our loved ones spend in prisons around the country. And I know many people know my story, and they know why I'm a single mom and what happened with my kid's father. So, I'm still a strong advocate when it comes to fighting wrongfully and, incarcerated men or women. So that's another topic for another day. I will be going into that one episode as well. So to go on, I must discuss that Black Americans, which a lot of people don't know, but Black Americans experience substance abuse at a slightly lower rate than Caucasians. Yeah, they won't let us know that, but that is true. Black adolescents, though, and working in mental health, we did serve, adolescents and youth, and they exhibited a slightly higher rate of substance abuse than the Caucasian children. And that's serious. That is really serious. Like when I was growing up, I had friends that moms and dads were hooked on drugs. But now, those moms and dads are advocates now. They're helping to fight recovery, and we have a lot of kids that are in high school. I get a message all the time about my son's school. There's somebody at the school that's vaping, but there's drugs in the vape, so you hear about it with youth more than you do with the adults nowadays. So I just want to bring the two people in that, that are close. My cousin is close to my heart, and I thought it was important that she shared her story. And I want to also thank my mom for introducing me to Anthony, who's another speaker that's going to speak on the show as well. So let me just, they've both been in recovery for many years and was kind enough to take the time to describe some of their journey with the community during their recovery years. And their stories are compelling, it's powerful. Anthony now mentors other people in recovery, and Tabitha is very open about sharing her story, and she prides herself when it comes to helping others, whether it's at work. She loves her job. She loves the people at her job, her family and community, and we love her dearly. I'm so proud of my cousin for how far she's become. So first I want to bring on Anthony. So Anthony, I think you're in the building somewhere, so let me bring you in. Let me bring Anthony in to the show. Everyone just bear with me. Okay, Anthony, I just sent you. Yes, Mumu, we are so proud of y'all. Mommy, go Tabby Tab. So, Anthony, I just sent you an invite, so just accept that, and you should be coming right on in. Give him a second, everybody. And Anthony's going to share his story and what he's doing today to help the community. Do you see it, Anthony? Let me make sure you receive that invite. Let me send it again. All right, I sent it again. Did you see it pop up, Anthony? It should say you have to accept the invite. Anthony is unable to join. Uh-oh, what's going on, Anthony? I sent it again. If not, we're going to start with Tabby, and then I'll get you back in. You can't get in, Anthony? Yes. Yeah, I know. We can bring on the whole team. Okay. So, I'm sorry. Got a problem going on back there. All right. So, Anthony, we're going to bring in Tabby. I told y'all I'll be dropping stuff everywhere. My son told me my decor was gonna fall. All right, Tabby. I'm gonna bring you in, and then we're gonna help out Anthony. Anthony, you might have to get on. I'm not sure if you're what you're on.
Uh-oh.
Yo, hi, Tabby.
Hey, Dee Dee. Look, I got the nerve to be kind of nervous.
Look, not Miss Instagram star. We're gonna throw out her Instagram in a minute, and we want y'all to go follow her soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Tabby. Well, we was trying to get Anthony on. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he
Yeah.
connection is not going through, but it's saying he can't join. But we'll get him in. So what I want to do, just have you introduce yourself to everyone. I know you. You're my cousin. So just introduce yourself, and you could begin telling your story.
Okay. So I'm Tabitha Pickett, but everybody call me Tabby. My family and friends, whoever's close to me, they know me by Tabby. So you want me to just share now my, story?
Yeah, just
Okay.
just give them a little introduction of who you are and how long
Yeah.
it's been with your recovery.
Okay. So yes, like I was saying, my name is Tabby. 51 years old, and I turned my life around. I'm a recovery addict. I started, like, my addiction started really bad after my daughter's father got murdered, because I was using, but it was like fun and games, in the beginning. The bad part came after my daughter's father got murdered. And then it just spiraled. It went crazy. That was 1999. And I turned my life around September 8th of 2008. Every time I talk about this, I get kind of emotional, So, he got murdered. He got murdered. So, when I was out partying and, using as fun, like a, fun thing, when he got murdered, it just spiraled down, and I was using it to hide the pain. I was sad, couldn't believe he passed away. And then all my emotions came with my dad passing away. So I was trying to hide the pain because it made me feel good. Then after it was feeling like make you feel good, it becomes like a job. And then you get addicted to it, and you got to go out and get it, any means necessary. But my life, I wasn't brought up like that. My mom and dad never did drugs, never smoked cigarettes, drank, or anything. I was in Catholic school, I was brought up real good. No complaints with my mom and dad. No complaints. But my mom said lack of the academy.
Evelyn.
Then you said how? So the thing was, being that my mom and dad, my aunts and uncles, we're close-knit family, right? So being that they never taught us about don't use drugs, because it wasn't never around our house. Like when we was growing up, that wasn't no topic in our house. Don't do drugs, because it was, I guess, as when I was growing up, it wasn't that bad like it got in the 80s and the 90s and stuff. Like it just got crazy. So to make long story short, because my life, that'd take about 1,000,000 years. So when I realized I need to get myself together, I just broke down one day. I broke down. I was outside by myself, and I just fell to my knees and cried and cried. And I said, I have to get myself together. And I turned myself into a program on South Orange Avenue called Freedom Ministry. And the guy said, you could come anytime, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I know the days like it was yesterday. And he said, at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll never forget that day on Lil T birthday. And Little T and Chase, I think. Somebody, Little T and Chase share the same birthday, I think. Yeah, so I went in the house and I told my mother and my sister, I said, I'm out of here. I got to get myself together. And my mother said, we'll be praying for you like I always do. When I went there, they sent me to New York. I stayed in detox for 14 days. Then they took, the pastor there asked me did I want to go further, and I told him yeah. So they sent me to a place in New York, Bronx, in the Bronx called BATC. And I stayed there for like 29 days because I had to come back for a funeral. I would have graduated from the place the next day, but somebody passed in our family. So then I just took it from there. I asked them, can I go to an outpatient? And I told them the truth that I live in New Jersey. So they got me into the Integrity House. I went to Integrity House every day for the the outpatient program. Then I hooked up with Reverend Osborne, Pastor Osborne, Bethel Church. God rest his soul, he's deceased now, but he helped out a lot of recovering addicts. It was a place like home. He called you his daughter, his sons. And I stayed with that church for many years. Then I just stayed with my family. I stayed around my family, Lisa, Nikki, my mother, my Aunt Ann, y'all. I just started being with the family.
So
and
I
just keep it going. I used to speak at alumni too. I spoke at the alumni, that's Delaney Hall. Is a lot of facilities, but I always mainly went to Delaney and Logan Hall.
Okay.
To speak to the women, because I was incarcerated too, but I didn't do prison time. I just was in and out of jails. And the last time I went there, no, not the last time, but a couple of times before my last time, my cousin Kesha, she had to search me, man. Every time she used to look at that paper and say, because she knows something, she know I'm coming, And I think one time she wouldn't let nobody search me. She would, do it or whatever. And I really felt bad, like I got to get myself together.
That was an eye-opener. Yeah.
And then when I got myself together, me and my mother went to Salvation Army, Bible study. I just kept connected with a lot of positive things. A lot of positive things kept me connected, Then I started working with Camilla, my cousin Camilla. We opened up a summer camp for kids, me, her, and Nikki. And her husband, Ali, let her rest in peace. But that's how I kept myself going,
Good.
I try to stick with the winners. And you got me crying. Every time I talk about it, I cry.
We're going to give you a break on your sticker. Anthony just came in. So let me see if...
That's my big brother.
Yes. And this is like a reunion for them too as well. So I'm glad I could unite them. And thanks to your cousin Sherry for... There he is. You got some light, Anthony? I can't see you.
He got the phone turned. I hear him.
Anthony just came in.
There you go.
There he is. He's coming.
There go my big brother.
Yes.
There go my big brother.
Like a reunion for them too as well. So I'm glad I could unite them. And thanks to your cousin Sherry for...
Can I just say one thing?
You got some
one thing, Didi? When I was in Delaney Hall, I always want to see Anthony.
Okay, now.
There you go.
Hold on.
Big brother.
Yes. Turn your volume down.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Echo going.
Can I just say one thing?
You know I love you, girl. You know I love you.
Didi, take me off and put him on.
You mute Sammy. Mute. Use your phone.
How do I mute it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they echo.
You know I love you, girl. You hear me? You know I love you.
All right, I'm gonna bring you back in, Tabby.
Take me off and put him on.
I'm gonna bring you back in, Tabby. You can mute Tabby. Mute. Use your phone, Tabby.
How do I mute it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they echo.
You know I love you, girl. You hear me? You know I love you.
All right, I'm gonna bring you back in, Tabby.
Take me off and put him on.
I'm gonna bring you back in, Tabby. You can mute. You gotta go out. Mute. Get out. Use your phone, Tabby.
How do I mute it?
Yeah.
Hold on, we're gonna get it together, y'all. Yeah, they echo.
You know I love you, girl. You know I love you.
All right, I'm gonna bring you back in, Tabby.
Take me off and put him on.
I'm gonna bring you back in, Tabby. Why I hear the same thing over again? Anthony.
What's going on?
Okay, Tabby had to come out because I think something was echoing on her end.
That's all right.
Okay, so I could bring her back in, but thanks, Anthony. Thanks for coming in.
Anytime.
Yeah, I wish I could get both of you guys on the same time, but I don't know what all that echoing was.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, she introduced herself. Sorry we couldn't get you in, as scheduled.
Everything takes time.
That's right. So, just introduce yourself and tell everyone.
My name is Anthony Haynes. Again, 17 years in recovery. I've done it all. I've 28 arrests, 3 felony convictions. My last place of incarceration was Delaney Hall. And, when you rip and run these streets, you get tired of being sick and tired. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard you say earlier about keeping it in the family. Well, in my case, I was 45 years old when I did this. After ripping and running. And then you go to family functions, they feed you. They got $20 waiting for you. All they're going to do is feed you $20 and tell you go, because family don't want you to be around. They kind of be ashamed of you. They love you.
Mm-hmm.
They still be ashamed of you. They don't want you coming in begging and saying, they don't want their friends to say you're begging and stuff. And when I tell you, oh man, it's a hurtful feeling when you're running out here in the streets and you miss a lot of stuff. Like I miss great uncles passing. I miss kids being born in my family. Being homeless. I spent a lot of my homelessness running through Velsburg, running in and out and running around on Bradley Court. It is what it is. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I ain't gonna blame it on nobody. It is what it is.
Yeah, tell them the facts. I mean, people need to know, especially our young people. Like I said, those numbers are going up.
And the worst thing that I have learned in these years, that the biggest lie that's ever been told to our people, especially our young people, is that you're a product of your environment. No, you're a product of your decision making. Because that same kid lay down the street from you, went to college, went to school, did the right thing. And he had one mother just like everybody else had. I had one mother. I went to school. I went to college. I waited until I got 47 years old to decide I'm going to mess up. I decided that at 47 years old with a good job in New Jersey Transit that I wanted to sniff dope. Here I got kids. But the drug was stronger than the thing to do what I'm supposed to do right. It was a choice I made. And it get to a point where you say, enough is enough. Because everybody's bottom is different. So when I got to that last incarceration at Delaney Hall, After 8.5 months, I got blessed. I should have went downstate. But God saw fit because he had something different in store for me.
Absolutely.
And I ended up at the Market Street Mission in Morristown. Then from the Market Street Mission in Morristown, I went to Ready, Willing, and Able, where I graduated with honors.
And where's that location?
And
where's that place?
Ready, Willing, and Able is called the Dope Fund, Ready, Willing, and Able. And if you look it up, it's the greatest secret ever kept. It is, when I tell you, it's the greatest secret. When it was still in Jersey City, it saved a lot of people's lives in Newark, Irvington, and East Orange. Even though it was based in Jersey City, it saved a lot of people's lives, especially in Essex County. Even as far down as Trenton, because when I was in there with guys from Trenton. So this place, and now they no longer have it in Jersey City. It's a work/therapy program. You can look it up and put it out there for people. Okay. And if anybody, wants to know further about it, I guess you can give them my email address. I think I gave it to you and everything. And I'll tell them everything about it and how to get in it. I have connections because I have over the years put people in different programs. Mm-hmm. That's one way of my giving back. So, like I said, after everything, got 2 years probation out of all that. Who would ever thought a 28 arrests, 3 felony convictions, drug dealing, homeless person like me, they would give me the keys to a jail.
You got to tell them about that too. Let everybody know.
And so when I say the keys to the jail, so everybody will know, I know everybody that live in the area heard and know about Delaney Hall. And like I said, that was the last place I was incarcerated at. After doing my 2 years probation, graduated from both of these programs, they gave me a job. They gave me a second chance. And that second chance really was God. Mm-hmm. He said, well, since I gave you a second chance, I need you to go back here at this place and be a beacon of light and tell your story. And for 14 years, that's what I did. I told different residents. I helped different residents. I told them how I was incarcerated, how I had once been a resident there several times, over and over again. Sometimes it takes more than one step to get it right, but you can't give up. Right. You can't give up. And in this thing called recovery, one of the biggest foundations is faith. You gotta have faith, mm-hmm. whether it be Muslim faith, whether it be Catholic faith, whether it be gospel faith. You gotta have faith. Without faith, nothing, you can't achieve nothing. And that's what I tell the guys. And like I said, I did it for 14 years. I just recently retired. And I would have never thought, like I said, this is what I want to do. I want to do what you're doing. And I was more, and that shows you how God works. I said, this is what I want to do. And my sister, your mom's, my best friend, my sister, she said, Aunt, your niece needs you. I said, what she need? She said, she needs you to speak about your recovery. And when I tell you our young men, all they need is other men to pay attention to them, mm-hmm. to care about them, to show them, because let me tell you, they smell fear.
Yeah, right.
And they know bull. And we grown-ups, they know bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You got to respect them, and you can't come at them with no bullshit. You got to come at them 100, and you got to give them something and show them that you care. No, you don't. You ain't got to bully them. You don't talk down. Don't talk down to them. You talk to them. You talk with them. You listen. Got to be a good listener.
Right.
They want something. They want something.
And they need it.
Be better. Huh?
And they need it. They need the mentorship. They need for
And,
someone that has, you know, the experience to come from someone that knows about it, you know, and is from the streets, you know, because I don't know if either you or Tabby, and I wish I could get Tabby back in here, if you guys saw the video of Jay-Z and Warren Buff. They were both sitting in a room together, and it is interesting because, you know, Warren Buffett, and then here we go with Jay-Z, and again, this is the best of both worlds, like R. Kelly and Jay-Z, you know, happening all over again, and they're both in the room together, but they're from two completely different worlds, and you know, so they're being interviewed by the guy from Forbes magazine, and Jay-Z was just like, you know, they asked Jay-Z, you know, how do you feel about being friends with Warren Buff, and you're sitting in a room with two billionaires and executives, and you know, Jay-Z was just saying, like, it is what it is, like, I'm comfortable, you know, because I'm always gonna be me, you know. So I just felt like, you know, he felt like he was worthy of being there regardless of his past, because he came from the streets, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
and I know that, you know, Warren Buffett has said plenty of times that they've had conversations about his past, and it took Jay-Z to explain this to him, for him to realize that, you know, this young man had a history, like, he knows about the streets, and he's just not an individual sitting here with money now. He knows about the past. So Jay-Z was able to bring that knowledge to them about the streets, and he said, I don't care what I have now, I'm always gonna be me. Like, and for somebody to come in with that mentality, you need that person that has been experienced to that life to come in with that mentality to teach others.
And that's what we need in our society today. See, some of us have forgotten where we come from. Some of us forgot those, because everybody's bottom is different. Mm-hmm. But everybody, a lot of people have forgotten where they come from. You know what I'm saying? They've forgotten those nights when they done spent up all their check, when they done spent up all their money, when they done spent the rent money, when they done told their moms lies and got $20 and $30, $40 out of them. Now they got all these different jobs, high-paying jobs with power and position, but you don't want to tell your story. After the good Lord or the God of your understanding done blessed you to turn your life around, he done showed you grace and mercy, but you won't take it, go back out there and give back and tell that next man that no matter what you've done, you can still be successful in life. Mm-hmm. I never thought at 45, after 28 arrests, 3 felony convictions, the keys to the jail, when I left out that building out the back way, 2 years later, I came in the front door. I didn't have to come in and out the back door no more. I came in and out the front door. Mm-hmm. This is the same stories some of our people in this city, Irvington, East Orange, Newark, we need around the country.
Need to hear it. Because how many people walked out of that door and didn't walk out with a positive story? How many people you know personally that you went through this life, you know, this life with, that walked out that same door you walked in and out of, but they didn't walk right. They didn't walk out on a positive note. They either went back to the drugs, lost their life, or went to.
But see, that's when people like me, and I see these, I still walk the streets of my city. Mm-hmm. And when I see the resident, some of them still, and I tell them, keep your head up. I don't look down on them and tell them, what you doing out here? You know, no. Right. Keep your head up. Mr. Haynes, no, I'm not here to judge you. Who am I to judge you? I didn't get it the first time. I didn't get it the second time. I didn't get it the third time. It took me 28 arrests to get it right. But all you can do, if you have changed your life around as a man, is to tell that next man to keep your head up. Mm-hmm. It'll get better. You got to want it. This thing is a want. It ain't a gotta have. It's a want. You got to want this thing called recovery.
So is that what you would say is a first step? Like, it has to be done for you, and it's a want.
It's a want. You gotta want it. You can't. And the thing is, you can't want it for your kids. You can't want it for your mama. You can't want it for your girlfriend. You gotta want it for you.
Self, yeah, self.
Because if you don't want it for you, what good are you to anybody else if you ain't right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the want has to be for you. I need to be clean. I need to stay clean and sober. No, you don't. You gotta want to stay clean and sober.
So, somebody may be watching right now that's going through something, or their parents may be going through something, or they have a child right now that's going through something. What would you tell them right now? One piece of advice you would give that person who's struggling right now, or give the advice to the person who's struggling right now, and then possibly give that advice to a parent who's looking at their child right now and don't know what to do.
Well, the first and most important thing you got to do is pray. Prayer works. Prayer works. You got to have patience. You got to have humility. And sometimes you got to be able to say, you know what? They got to learn on their own, because sometimes you can't be an enabler. If you know your child, no matter what the age, if they're young, then you step in, because they haven't have enough life experience to know. But if they're older, sometimes you got to let go and let them learn some tough lessons.
Mm-hmm. Tough love is fine. Yeah. Like, it's still an okay thing to do.
Sometimes you need to fall on your knees and let them bump their head a few times, mm-hmm. so they can learn. I ain't saying don't be there for them, but you got to cut the apron string and let them go and learn life lessons.
Right. Don't give up on them. I don't think anybody should give up on anyone. Yeah.
No, don't never give up on them. Like my mother, God rest her soul, my mother never gave up on me. Like when I got incarcerated, I didn't want my mother to come see me. Send me some cigarettes, send me some socks, send me some t-shirts. Everything else I do on my own, because I got me arrested. And sometimes that's what you do. You send what you can send, but you let them know, I didn't put you there. You put you there. Mm-hmm. You made that choice. You made that decision. And as a parent or anyone out there, if you're struggling, you have to get your faith and spirituality in order.
Right.
So you can say, okay, take that deep. Now, which way I'm going to go? You know, I'm gonna reach here. I'm gonna reach out to this person. You can't continue to want positive when you're being around negative.
Right.
Get away from it. Yeah, peer pressure, as we know, whether we want to admit it or not, at every stage and age in our life, till we get to that point, peer pressure is rough.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And when one of our viewers said we don't have that tough love anymore.
No, we don't, because for some reason, here's my thing, and for all government people who are listening, mind your business.
Elaborate so they don't feel any kind of way. I did see some government people pop in here.
Because that same thing that you advocate, that's child abuse. If it wasn't for a good belt, a good switch, a good extension cord, it's called discipline. It ain't called child abuse. Mm-hmm. It's called discipline. Mm-hmm. How your kid gonna tell you what they ain't gonna do? Then when you threaten to whoop them, they can call somebody and they can come lock you up, right, and tell you what to do about your child.
Yeah, I mean, I used to work in that, industry because it's a business. But yeah, I used to work there for many years. But that's what a lot of kids say. They will threaten their parent. Yeah. I called that. There was kids that was lined up in front of the building to tell on their own parent. They were doing it.
Them same politicians, them same political people, ask them how many whippings they got. that kept them in line so they become the people that they are today.
Yeah. I want to get I want to see if I get Tabby. It might have been because you need some headphones, maybe because it was echoing, and it was just.
Well, I turned the laptop off. I just have
okay. So we're gonna try Tabby again. I'm gonna try to invite Tabby in again. Let me see. I believe somebody has a question. Okay. How did you start using in your 40s?
How to start you?
That was a question.
I've been using. It started getting high. Started in Barringer. And
high school. For some people who don't know what Barringer is, that's a high school.
Yeah, high school. It has nothing to do with, marijuana is the gateway drug to everything else. No, it was a choice I made. I went from marijuana to drinking, and it's just a choice you make. Some people make that choice to try something. And it was good. I love the feeling. I love the feeling of euphoria. I loved it. I enjoyed it. That's why I did it. Even going to work. While I was working, I did it. It was fun. Even if people that's one thing a lot of people won't admit. They won't admit the fun part of it till it became not fun.
Right.
Like I started early. I stopped for a little while, went to the military and all that. But once I got, when heroin came out, I tried it. I enjoyed it. And I'm going to keep it 100. And a lot of people probably won't. If there were no consequences, if it was still fun and was no consequences, I'd still be getting high. It's no fun. It's no fun. The consequences is you can't even count the consequences. The effect of your body, the missing days. But like I said, the consequences. I don't want to, when I ain't got none, I don't want to be balled up in a knot. I don't want to be, I can't leave the house because I got diarrhea because I ain't got no dope. I can remember, like I said, I'm one of them in Tab. No, my little sister, I love her to death. I'm gonna keep it.
Hear me?
Yes.
I remember the days of having money, and couldn't leave the house. I'm out the window hoping somebody come by that I know I can trust that get high, so they can just go get me a bag, just so I can function.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm gonna keep it 100. If there were no consequences and it was still fun, you'd be surprised if you got people in a closed room, all of them that got high would tell you the same thing. If there were no consequences, we still be doing it. Consequences hurt.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the effect is now?
That's how it started with me in the beginning. It was fun. And
what age were you? What age were you, Tabby?
Wow. Minerva is 31. I'd say like when I first started, before it became bad, Minerva was about 5 years old.
Okay.
When she turned 9, after her dad passed away, downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Started having a monkey on my back.
And I like what
couldn't do nothing.
Earlier, Tabby, when we were and I know we had this conversation before, and I like when you mentioned during your introduction, and you said that that wasn't something that was in our family. You know, we were brought up around family. Our family wasn't poor. I mean, we wasn't rich either, but we wasn't the poor family. We Picketts, never poor.
Yeah.
Our family pretty much lived like Georgia and Wheezy, moved from the projects and one of the first owners of their homes. Never missed any meals, owned their own businesses, etc. And we were all close. Like, we're still all close. Families go through whatever they go through, but we remain close, all of us. But I like how you discuss, and like I said, you mentioned it before, about people that experience drug problems don't always come from bad upbringings. You know, they're not always, you know, in poor families. And I've heard this working in mental health and in substance abuse. I've heard this from other people that, you know, oh, it's more in the urban community. And just like the statistics that I gave first, you know, it's very low with our Black community of drugs, but you only hear about, you know, our people doing the drugs. And I must add, I'm wearing this shirt with Nirvana, one of my favorite rock bands, and there's a great documentary on Kurt Cobain. But they materialized that stuff. When Kurt Cobain, this musician, ODs and he dies, he has a whole story. And, you know, we get to hear these stories about them, but we don't get to hear stories from you guys who recover and went through everything and are here to help other people. So, you know, I like that you spoke about that earlier about, you know, it's not from your upbringing.
Let me say this, and I want to get this out. And this is what make our big brother, she my little sister. We come from a network, and she spoke on it earlier, called the Alumni Service.
Explain to people who don't know what that is.
The Alumni Service was originally started in CEC, and that's Community Education Center, which at one time owned Delaney Hall, Logan Hall, Harbor House, Tully House, Talbot Hall, Bo Robinson, and a few others around the country. And if you only stayed for an hour in any of these facilities, you would automatically become part of the Alumni Service. And what we did was, we went around to all the facilities on different times of the month and different days, and we gave back. Just like we're doing here with you, we go to these facilities. And the guys go when it's time for the women to speak. We go and support our ladies. We be right there with the girls. When Tab and them is
That's
doing
how I met you.
we be right there with them. And Tab will tell you, I'll be the first one to tell a woman when I'm in there, look, we ain't shit. Don't depend on us. You don't need us. You can make it in life. You can make it in life without a man. I tell a woman that in a heartbeat.
I agree.
You can make it in life. So this is what Alumni Service did. We were a family. We're still a family. We still check on each other. We still call each other.
Still got a group chat.
I want to thank, like the guy who ran it all, Mr. Arthur Towns.
Mm-hmm.
Big brother. I mean, my little brother. I'm older than him, my little brother. But he, you know, he's the glue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's the glue.
And I wanted to ask Tabby the same questions that I asked you, Anthony. Tabby, what is your advice to give someone who is struggling right now? What would be your one piece of advice to give them?
The same thing that Big Bro said. You can't really give somebody that's struggling, you can share hope with them and get directions on how to get clean, but they have to want it. Like I told you, when I broke down that, you know, Western Parkway and Eastern Parkway, and there's a bridge you walk over.
Yeah.
I broke down right there on my knees, and I had drugs on me. I was tired. I said, I got to go away. I'm tired. And I had the drugs on me, so I knew I was ready. I just broke down, and I was there by myself on that bridge. I just fell to my knees, and I guess by me mourning over all my father, my daughter's father, it must have came out. And I was just tired, sick and tired of living the life I live. I could, like Ann said, you know how many functions y'all know, my family know, that I missed. Why? Because I was hiding. I couldn't make it there, you know? But by the grace of God, 2008, September 8th, 2008, early in the morning, about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, I broke down and I went straight to that program at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I kept it moving ever since. But I keep God in my life. I keep God in my life. And I'm blessed to have 2 grandchildren. I got some auntie grandchildren. And I got our family that keep me going. My cousin Kesha, all of y'all. Y'all always text me or something on September 8th. A lot of people on my Facebook wouldn't know. They're like, oh, happy birthday. Yeah, it is my birthday. Because that's my new date that I set myself free. So my family knows September 8th is a big deal to me when I celebrate.
That's right.
I celebrate my new life.
Absolutely. And that, you know, it's a lot of people that don't have that connection with their family. And, you know, it's so hard for them to recover when they don't have that. Or like what Anthony said earlier, you know, your family push you away. So would you agree with that, you know, coming into recovery and going into a program to build that family relationship like you guys had, you started the alumni, that's family. Like somebody can seek support system like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, support, if you have no, see, and I don't want, because, you know, some people jump on stuff and go crazy. I don't want no one to take what I say wrong. NA is great, but it's not for everyone. You got to do whatever it takes to keep you clean.
Yeah, look at Tabby, because Tabby said that before. Yeah,
look
at Tabby.
NA's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
Some people, like, it's not for everybody. I ain't going to say there's anything wrong with it, but it's not for everyone. Like, believe it or not, your mother is part of my network. When I hear from your mom, that make my day. That's somebody that I went through 4 years of school with that we haven't forgotten each other. Even though we didn't run together in school, we still kept the same friendship. Your mother is still one of my best friends. And she called her big brother. She called me big brother, and we the same age. Bro, how you doing? Bro, you all right? Yeah, sis, I'm okay. How you doing?
That's because she thinks she's younger than me.
And
that's my baby.
See, I had the same thing with your uncle, me and Rudy. Call Rudy, what's good, bro? I'm good, I'm all right. Because we both Steelers fans. You know, Steelers fans, we for life.
And my cousin Kat in here too. Oh, she is still a fan.
You know, but your network, when you got a great network,
ain't on here.
I'm surprised
when you have a great network,
all these Steelers fans,
yeah, but it's about networking. When you have a good network, when you have a good support and group that call on you and check on you, that's priceless.
Yeah.
And all of them ain't blood. Let me give you a saying: all family ain't blood, and all blood ain't family.
That's right.
All blood ain't.
I just thank God that, you know, I have such a large family, and, you know, we were able to, you know, be there for one another. And, you know, I must admit, you know, I was very young when, you know, Tabby was going through things and other family members were going through things. So, you know, I don't remember much, but, you know,
thank God.
We making up for them lost times, you know. We making up for it. And, you know, I just, you know, want people, we only have a few more minutes, but, you know, for anybody, just one quick, you know, piece of advice for someone who's right now that's newly sober and they want to stay sober. What do you guys have to say to them real quick?
People, places, and things. You can't go around the same place you was running. Never. I don't care how good you look. Really, you may keep in touch with someone that you ran with and they doing good too, okay. But majority of the people out there, when they getting high, They don't care. You're going to go around there and you're going to do what they do. You get what I'm saying? You cannot hang with them. You know, I'm sorry. It's just you can't. Now, if you see them or whatever, and because we, like me and bro do, I always share my story. I share hope. I see a couple of people I know when I go to work down Penn Station. And I tell them, whenever you ready, I say, I got some girlfriends that work at Elevate. You could go here, you go there. And then I keep it moving. I give them some change, and I keep it moving.
Yeah.
But it's people, place. That's one thing I know from the NA that is true to me. People, places, and things. You can't be around them.
Yeah, Tab, you done said a lot of
what
things.
You got,
we need to make some T-shirts or
well,
we gonna talk about that later. Go ahead, Anthony.
If you really want this thing, treat it real selfishly. You got to be selfish with it. If you want it, you got to be selfish with it, and you got to keep it. You can't share it. You got to work just as hard as you worked getting high. You got to work double that to stay clean and sober. Yeah. The day that you got up, you lied, you cheated, you did all this to get high. If you ain't there yet, you gotta lie to a nigga. Be like, yo, man, I gotta go see my mom. Even though you ain't going to see your mom, not to go to that place where you was getting high at. You got to lie.
Yeah.
You got to use the same energy that you use to get high with. You got to double that to stay clean and sober.
Well, thank you guys so much. Instagram is going to shut down in a second, but I thank you guys for coming on my first live. I appreciate it. I hope we reached a lot.
We got to get a T-shirt made with our name on it. The first one. And I love you, big bro.
Let people know how to.
I want to say one thing, Didi. I'm telling you, he is one of my mentors. Because when I was sitting on that side, and he was on the other side, I said every month, I can't wait to see Anthony, Kashi, Towns, Dana. They coming. I know they come. I'll be the first one in the front seat.
Yeah.
And when I got myself together and I walked through that door to speak, all I got was love from them. They hugged me, kissed me, grabbed my hand, and they treated me. And that's today. That was 2008.
Whether you knew it or not, you was already family.
I'm so proud of you both. Thank you guys for coming today. Both of you guys, your Instagrams are tagged to the post. I will reshare this and I will tag your Instagram if people want to get in touch with you guys or speak at the organization. But I'm so proud of you guys. Thanks for sharing your story and not afraid to do it.
Thank you.
I want to have you guys back on very soon. And I'm going to
listen.
This, so share with
I want to give a shout out to my daughter Minerva, my mama, all my cousins, my brother, and my alumni family.
I'm also a survivor. I'm also a survivor of Alzheimer's. Took care of both my grandmother and my mother. So if you ever have a segment on how to recover from Alzheimer's,
I got you. And that's something close to my heart too. So we'll definitely, my son said I need to start writing down things because I'm not far from it. But I love you both. I love
y'all. Thank you.
Our next show,
love you, bro.
Our next show is next Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about grief and loss. Stay tuned for that. And then when our following week, we're gonna have a hip hop show. So we're gonna talk to some hip hop icons. So tune in for the next show. March 8th, next Tuesday. I love you both. Thank you so much.
If you need me,
thank you everybody for viewing. Anthony, Tabby will be in touch.
I love my mama. My mama is my rock.
Thanks everybody for viewing. If you have any other questions, put them under the post. The post will be up in a few minutes. Anybody who missed, they can, they can watch this after once I post, and we'll also be on YouTube. So you can watch this again on YouTube as well. So I'll share that information. Thanks, everybody. I love you.
Love y'all.
All right.
Be good.
Bye.
Bye.